morning. Thanks for joining us today for Good Day Oklahoma at 11. I'm Shelby Love, and yeah, get ready for some record-breaking temperatures this weekend. We're going to talk more about the forecast in a minute and how warm things are going to get. First, let's get to a new story this morning where we have more information regarding an inmate found unresponsive in his cell. Just last night, we reported Tremane Wood experienced a medical episode and was taken to a nearby hospital. According to Oklahoma Department of Corrections, Wood experienced a medical event due to dehydration and stress. In a phone call with the chief of public relations, Thompson, said Wood said that the last time that he ate or drank anything was during what he thought was his last meal around 5:30 on Wednesday. He continued to say he feels fine now and must have rolled off his bunk. He only had minor injuries, including a busted lip. Well, moments before he was set to be executed by lethal injection, inmate Tremane Wood was granted clemency by Governor Kevin Stitt. In 2004, Wood was sentenced to death after a deadly robbery in Oklahoma City, despite his brother confessing to that crime. Just last week, the state's Pardon and Parole Board recommended clemency in a close 3-2 vote. Faith leaders and community members stood in protest of Tremane Wood's execution outside of the governor's mansion. And they say that Wood's clemency is just one step in a much bigger fight to end capital punishment in Oklahoma.
Review of the facts and prayerful consideration, I have chosen to accept the Pardon and Parole Board's recommendation to commute Tremane Wood sentenced to life without parole.
Well, this is the first clemency or applause that is erupted outside the governor's mansion as Stitt's decision to grant clemency was announced 2 minutes after the scheduled execution. Now, this is the first clemency granted by the governor since Julius Jones in 2021. Advocates say Wood's clemency is just one step in a much bigger fight to end capital punishment in Oklahoma.
Community showed up, they showed out, they stood up for what's right, they stood up for justice, and we're so grateful for the people in our community for doing that.
And still work to be done. Get in your local advocacy groups, connect, look on Instagram, TikTok. We have all of these things that are accessible to us at our fingertips, and community really is the heart behind so many movements.
This is the first clemency granted by the governor since Julius Jones in 2021. Wood will now serve a life sentence without parole. And state leaders are reacting to the governor's decision. Attorney General Gettner Drummond says he's disappointed in the governor's decision, but also respects it, saying in part, quote, "My office will continue working to ensure that Tremane Wood remains behind bars and that the public is protected from him." State Senator Nikki Nice tells us that she's grateful for the governor accepting the recommendation of the Pardon and Parole Board. She continued to say that she hopes state lawmakers will pass Senate Bill 601 to extend a state moratorium on the death penalty.